and a neck as wide as Broadway, for crying out loud.
Right.
The thing that I don't like about Canelo is that it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yeah.
Say Crawford, if you go down the list and ask me for about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size. Size and, as a result, physical strength and punching power.
They both hit hard. Because and you can see the strength. You know, when I was fighting against Crawford, I didn't think Crawford was that strong, but when he kind of moved me around a little bit, he's very strong as well. So look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go to fight Canelo?
Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith break down the highly anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Stephen A. predicts that Crawford could win by decision, but advises caution. He recalls Gervonta Davis's warning that Crawford might face real danger if he engages in too many power exchanges. With Canelo's natural size and strength, Stephen A. believes Crawford must rely on defense, speed, and ring IQ instead of risky trading. Strategy, not pure power, may ultimately decide the winner.
And a neck as wide as Broadway, for crying out loud.
Right.
The thing that I don't like about Canelo is that it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yes.
And that's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble, and I'm not sure it was him, but I think it was him. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's going to go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight.
Max Kellerman takes a slightly different view. He highlights Crawford's sharper overall skill set, giving him a technical advantage. At the same time, he praises Canelo Alvarez's durability, iron chin, and naturally bigger frame, which provide him with extra power. However, Kellerman points out that Canelo hasn't looked quite as dominant in recent fights, showing small signs of decline. This, he says, sets the fight as a true clash of contrasts. Crawford's timing and precision against Canelo's strength and resilience.
Great chin. A great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him. But in recent years at super middleweight, he's gotten really good at cutting off the ring. Again, last fight notwithstanding. So as an overall suite of skills, recent vintage, it's been Crawford.
Okay.
But Canelo also is skilled and has a larger skeleton than Crawford. No matter what they weigh, Canelo's the bigger guy.
Yeah. You briefly mentioned Canelo's power, so who I would assume Canelo has the
You'd have to think, unless Crawford was on a knockout streak until he moved up to junior middleweight and then failed to stop Madrimal.
Antonio Tava, respected analyst and former champion, strongly backs Crawford while acknowledging the challenge ahead. Tava explains that Crawford has already proven himself across multiple divisions, but this matchup is on another level entirely. He calls it the toughest test of Crawford's career, while also noting that Canelo faces a challenge he has never truly experienced before. Tava frames the fight as history in the making, two elite fighters meeting at the very peak of their craft.
I'm Bud County all the way, but this is going to be the toughest fight, the best fighter Bud has ever been in the ring with. And arguably, this could be the best fighter Canelo has ever been in the ring with. We'll find out which one is which on September 13th.
Antonio, I appreciate your time. Safe travels back home.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Antonio.
Timothy Bradley Jr., known for his deep boxing IQ, predicts that the opening round will be a cautious chess match. Both fighters, he believes, will use the first round to measure timing, range, and movement rather than taking unnecessary risks. Bradley points out that Crawford often starts patiently, setting traps after carefully studying his opponent, while Canelo also tends to adjust early. Expect a tactical, measured start before the fireworks truly begin.
Crawford wants to feel his punching power as well. In the beginning, it's all the position balance. Like both guys are trying to get balance and trying to find their rhythm, understanding their distance to where they can punch and at the same time avoid getting hit. It takes Crawford a little bit more time than I would say Canelo to get right to it. Canelo, although I would say he is a prolific counterpuncher, fantastic counterpuncher. He tends to find his spots a lot quicker. And the indication of that is when, if you look at any of the boxers that Canelo has faced, Trout, even Danny Jacobs, even when he fought against Charlo, you just check out the first round. He usually takes off, just feels the power, cruises, see what these guys know, couple of feints, level changes, gathering information, right? Crawford does the same and similar things. So I think the first round is going to be a real calm and cautious round by both fighters. But in the second round, Canelo's going to start applying that pressure, man. Pre-engagement with Crawford is a little bit more difficult than a Charlo. Okay. Let me explain this. So pre-engagement is the movements before you get into that sweet spot, which is mid-range, to be able to let your hands go. Right. Both guys are trying to counter each other movement. Both guys are looking at each other's, hands, trying to anticipate what they believe is going to come next.
Amir Khan, who has faced both men in the ring, offers a unique perspective. He praises Crawford's greatness at welterweight, but warns that weight divisions exist for a reason. Moving up to fight naturally bigger opponents brings real danger. Khan says Crawford didn't necessarily need to take this risk, as his legacy is already secure, but respects his ambition to silence critics and chase greatness. For Khan, it's a bold but high-stakes move.
We did all the build-up. They were nothing but respectful. I just feel that, in boxing, weight divisions are made there they make him for a purpose. And I highly respect and say pound for pound, the best fighter is Crawford by far and beats anyone. But when you start putting weight on and you go up a weight and you fight these guys like Canelo, even though Canelo might be now getting a little bit older and it might be slowing down a little bit, but he's still going to be very dangerous. That punch power, you're still going to get tagged, you're still going to get hit. You're going to have to spar heavier guys to get ready for that anyway. So you're going to be taking a lot of wear and tear anyway. You're going to have to adding a few pounds on. Does he need to put that pressure on himself? He's done what no one's ever done before. 2-time undisputed world champion. So why not just enjoy? But obviously you want to go for that next challenge. Now for him, he wants to go for that Canelo. I would advise him not to go for that. But if he's the man and he knows how good he is himself. So I can't really say to him that do this or do that. So really,
he believes in his skills. He
believes in his skill. Yeah. We can't answer for him. We let him go and do it. You know what I'm saying? And we all might be wrong. He might be even stronger than Canelo. He might pack the weight on well. That he might do really well in there. So look,
you fought them both. Like what are the differences between them? Obviously, it's weight.
Canelo's strong and he's easily hit. Very easily hit. Very easily. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't even hit clean. So really, that's the difference. And they both hit hard. Because and you can see the strength. When I was fighting against Crawford, I didn't think Crawford was that strong, but when he kind of moved me around a little bit, he is very strong as well. So look, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound number one in the world. Why does he have to go up and fight Canelo?
Promoter Tom Loeffler analyzes the magnitude of the event. He explains that both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are global icons with massive fan bases, making this matchup one of the biggest possible in boxing today. Loeffler calls it more than a fight. It's a collision of two empires, Canelo, the established king, and Crawford, the pound-for-pound star. Rarely do fighters of this caliber meet, especially with so much legacy and history on the line.
Show, it's huge. It doesn't get any bigger than that. And you got to give credit to both guys. They're both very confident. They both have very passionate fan bases. Callum, having fought in Dublin, packed the arena out there, the 3 Arena, having fought at Madison Square Garden 3 times, fought in Boston, and then Fernando Jr., from one of the biggest boxing named families, in the history of boxing. He's going to bring out a huge fan base. So it's a really exciting addition to, such a big show that like I said, doesn't get any bigger than that for sure.
I agree. I think that you, along with me, have seen some of these criticisms of the undercard. But really, when you look at it, I mean, we both know Colin Walsh so well. The personality and the authenticity that he brings to this sport is just so sincere. He's so real. Being from Ireland, coming overseas to train and dedicate his life to this craft, and his personality is so magnetic that it obviously brought someone like Dana White to be a huge supporter.
Trainer Dave Caldwell focuses on Crawford's versatility. He highlights Crawford's ability to switch stances, use angles, and control distance with elite footwork. Caldwell calls this an underrated weapon that frustrates opponents and dictates pace. Against Canelo's forward pressure, he believes Crawford's mobility could be the deciding factor. If Crawford avoids the ropes and creates angles, he can neutralize Canelo's power and score effectively.
From when the fight got made, I've always fancied Crawford. I just think he's different. I think there's something about him. I think if you add what Crawford's good at, his brain, he can switch. He's very good as a southpaw. His judgment of distance is fantastic. His punch picking is fantastic. He's got good legs. When you add and he can pop. I mean, listen, I'm not saying he's got the power to hurt Canelo, but he might have the power to surprise Canelo a little bit and just sting him but when you look at what Crawford does well, and then I look at this version of Canelo, as Canelo's got on, his punch rate's gone down. His feet have never been the fastest, but he's always had good placement of feet. His feet aren't the fastest. And he loads up. And he don't really like boxing at a pace. So I kind of look at that and I think Crawford can manage his way through the fight to win it on points. I think he can manage moments, tough moments. When Canelo detonates a big shot on him, he's going to know about it because Crawford's been out before. And Crawford gets hit. He does get hit. That's why he's exciting. But he does get hit. So that means that Canelo could land on him. I just think that Canelo will land a bomb and Crawford knows enough to tie up, to get off an angle, to get that distance.
Jeff Mayweather points to size and weight as the most critical factors. He notes that Canelo is completely comfortable at super middleweight, a division that perfectly suits him. Crawford, however, is entering unfamiliar territory. Adding weight could affect his speed, stamina, and durability. For Jeff, this is Canelo's natural edge, no adjustments needed for him, while Crawford steps into the unknown.
I mean, this is a weight class that Canelo is already, owns. He owns his weight class. And so, and he even went up higher. So, he's already proven what he can do and what he can take at those other weight classes. So, I don't know, but if anyone can do it, it probably would be Terrence Crawford. This guy seems like it's amazing. He's, I'm a big fan of Terrence Crawford, but I'm a big fan of Canelo as well. So it's one of those situations where somebody has to lose. So I don't know who's gonna lose, but I think that it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be a great fight.
That wraps up today's breakdown. What do you think? Will Canelo's power and size prove too much, or will Crawford's skill and adaptability carry the day? Drop your predictions in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this historic matchup.